Hey y'all, welcome to Farm Girl Friday. Last week we talked about the drought and how hard it's just hit me personally, and how hard of course the farmers in the neighborhood have been hit, especially the crop farmers. So this week I'm going to show some appreciation for my pasture that has now gotten 4 inches of rain in the last 3 weeks. The growth pattern here is just insane versus my poor little pasture. This pasture here got 4 inches. My other pasture may have gotten 6/10 in the last 3 weeks. And it's not that this type of farming is not working in that pasture. The fact that I do rotational grazing is the only reason there is grass still in that pasture to this day with 8 cows on it. This pasture, on the other hand, these rotations behind me, I just took my cows off of, and they could have possibly ate there for another 3 days. But I'm gonna go ahead and move them because this is what they're going on to next. I want them to eat the grass while it's tender and luscious, so they get all the nutritional value out of each little grain. So look at us. We're so pitiful. So you can tell the growth here is just insane compared to my yearling pasture. There's Glisten. Somebody's yelling at me. So this was actually bush hogged probably about 3 weeks ago now. So this is all fresh growth. And they're going to love some of this clover and things on the edges that are just super tender. So my brother mowed the alleyways for my fences 2 weeks ago exactly. And just look at this growth. It's just insane. I really wish my other pasture looked like this, but I am so grateful that this pasture looks this good. So this is grasses and forages that they'll be going into tomorrow. I'm just here today to put up the fence. I'm not going to move them. They've only been in this rotation for a day and a half. And you can tell, look how much grass they still have to eat in here. Now they think they're starving, but they're not. So I'm having a little bit of solo time today out here checking on my cows and moving a fence. Because sometimes you have to have a reminder of why you work so hard every single day. And these little moments are what reminds me of why I work so hard to make this beautiful life for these babies. Because their livelihoods and them living out their life to their full potential is what this is all about for me. This is my favorite flower. Its technical name is Queen Anne's lace. Everybody around here calls it the chiggerweed because they say this is things full of chiggers. I don't believe it. I think it's beautiful. And I adore it for what it is, which is a flower that my cows don't really like to eat because it's a little bitter. But you know what? A little bit of beauty never hurt anybody. As many of y'all know, Glisten was my first calf in my herd. She's officially 3.5 and pregnant with her second calf. But I dare say she still loves me like her mama. Look at this thing. You is a big puppy dog. You are a big dog. What? What? Here's some shots of my favorite flower with my favorite cow. And yeah, we are just sitting here on the ground because I've been scratching her belly because she deserves belly scratches. Look at that big old belly. You got a little baby in there. Little udders forming. And yes, I can milk this cow. She is half Holstein, half Black Angus. So that's where my pretty coloring comes from, and her height comes from being half Holstein. And then her chunkiness and those gorgeous little beef babies she throws comes from being half Black Angus, which is full beef cow. So can't wait to see what she has this year. And we're also on baby watch. I only knew when Molasses was due because she was in heat as soon as I put my bull in. Everybody else, not so much. So Glisten here has got a little udder started. There's Molasses. So next up, baby check, is Bobby Sue. She is a heifer. Starting to get a little udder. She is technically not due until October because that was the last time I saw her in heat. But we're going to keep our eye on her because she was in with a little young bull. But I don't think he was mature enough to actually get any work done. And then we got our lastest little baby. Come back, baby. Hey, handsome. So right beside little Blackstrap is, who are you? Duchess. Hey, Duchess, come here. It's okay. Sorry, I know. I was paying attention to the baby. I was thinking she was next for the longest time because she dropped an udder way before Glisten did. But now Glisten's udder's way ahead of hers. So I don't believe she's going to beat out Glisten for having the next baby. And of course we got Chunky father. Then we got new baby again. That one's really fat, but it's a steer. He's not pregnant. Over here is Daisy May though, and she is. Hey girl. Are you gonna stay laid down? Can I pet you on the head? I don't want to bother you. It's okay. She's not as tame as Glisten, so there. So we can't pregnancy check you while you're laying on the ground, but that's okay. So Daisy May is not my tamest cow, but we can also pet her while she's laying down too, apparently. You're a good girl, aren't you? You want me to pet you? Huh? No? Little boys, what can you do with them? Hey, girlfriend. People say I have this weird touch when it comes to animals. My dad told me the other day, he was like, well, you were out with the animals and playing with them before you could talk. So that just kind of stayed with me my entire life. I never knew my calling in life would be to be a animal husbandry person. But here we are with this awesome group of cows. Look how big her face is. It's crazy. It was always the biggest deal to me when I was raising my little bottle calves, and I was always like, one day you're going to be almost 1,000 pounds. I just don't believe it. But here they are, and they technically are. They just amaze me, these beautiful animals. Well, let's sneak around the backside of, oop, I just tripped over something, of Daisy May to see if we can see what's going on over here. Nothing really, we just taking a nap. And cows do just lay down and take naps like any other animal. So I'm not taking this as a sign that she's in labor or anything, because she's just sitting here eating her cud. It's just an afternoon nap. But I'll keep an eye on her while I'm out here working, just to see if she does anything out of the unusual. Swatting a fly. And mama and baby update. Her udder still looks great. Baby boy is growing like crazy. So I'm gonna be 3 weeks old this week. Look how big he is. You got an itch, Lasses? Yeah. And Lasses here might be bred back for next year. I don't know. I hadn't seen her come into heat, but you can't never tell. Then we got sweet little Bobby Sue. Look at her. Look at that baby. I definitely think she's pregnant. We just don't know when you gonna have the baby. When you gonna have your baby? Huh? When you gonna have your baby? Huh? She's due in October though. I'm pretty sure I've got that down pat. Let's see if she lets me touch her udder again like she did last week. No. But she's got a little udder started, so she's definitely bred. A heifer cow will not show an udder just unless they got some serious hormonal problems, unless they're pregnant and getting close to calving. Oh my gosh, this baby getting a bath. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, keep going. Look at that. I can't stand the adorableness. I can't stand how good of a mama Molasses is. Look at her. You getting a bath? You getting a bath? Said I love it. I love you, mama. Plus, I get to come out here and enjoy God's beauty like this. Whenever I see this type of sweat, I know I'm doing my job right. Look at that. I almost made a fence line straight. Take that, all my helpers that don't believe in me. Look at this grass I'm going to walk through, and it was mowed so it wouldn't be easier to walk through. Insane. Mwahaha, my cow stood up. Let's go over here and do some baby deciphering real quick before we head back to the car. Hi, Daisy Mae. Could you turn around for me? She was the one that was laying down. Could you turn around? I really want to see what your udder and the booty's looking like. Now, little udder, no poochiness. Definitely not on baby watch for you yet. But close. I mean, everybody's getting a little udder. I mean, they're all kind of in the same realm except Glisten. Glisten had some extra going on. Yep, little udder. You're slow doing your job, boyfriend. Yeah, I see you. So that's just my little cow update for the week. Nothing fancy. Just me on a normal evening with my cows. Like I said, if you need some peace, this is where you come for it. And they remind you what it's all about. That healthy little baby and all these beautiful mamas about to have their first or second calves. They're all healthy and happy and out here on this great forage. I'm truly blessed. People are like, you know, why are you, a 24-year-old girl, out here working like a man in these fields with a bunch of dirty animals? And I'm like, because out here is where I feel God the most. This is where my true purpose lies. And I don't know if it'll always be, but for right now, I'm a steward of these beautiful farms. And I'm going to work them to my full potential and to their full potential and give it my all. That's what God wants me to do right now in my life. So therefore, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. I hope y'all have a blessed week. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for enjoying these videos of just my everyday life out here in my cow pastures. Y'all come back. I'll see you next week.